This is Chat Point with Jesse Diaz.
Hey, thanks so much for hanging out with me here on Chat Point. This is Jesse Diaz, your host. Don't forget, you can follow us on Facebook at Chat Point Podcast. Okay, so just go ahead. That way you'll know what's going on when I post a new episode. And as you know, the show is on Spotify, but it's also on Apple Podcasts and a few different places. You can also subscribe to the show so that way you get notifications as well when a new episode drops. All right. So, yeah, we're in February now. So, today's February 1st when I'm recording this. And, this is the month of Valentine's Day. So, interesting enough, today's episode really isn't about Valentine's Day. But I thought that the title Forever Mine would probably bring that kind of a thought to those who saw that title. And, it is the month of expressing friendship and love towards others. But, there's a friendship that goes beyond that kind of friendship. And it's the friendship that you and I can have with God. Now, I want to quickly just read a verse in Psalm 73. When you have a chance, just read that entire psalm. I love reading the New Living Translation just because it's so easy to understand, to grasp. Okay, so I'm going to read verse 26 from this psalm here. So Psalm 73 verse 26 says, "My health may fail and my spirit may grow weak, but God remains the strength of my heart. He is mine forever." I love that. And if you read the rest of the psalm, you're going to see that a lot of the psalm is actually complaining before he gets to verse 26. And the psalmist is complaining about how it seems that evil people prosper. And he's like ticked off through most of the psalm. He's like, well, I don't get it. Why is it that everything they do seems to go right for them? And all they think about is evil. And all they want to do is oppose you, God. But yet everything seems to go right for them. It doesn't seem right. Doesn't make sense. And I think that you and I will face a lot of moments like that where we look around and we think, this doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me that this person is doing this and that, which I know, and yet he or she, drives that car or has that house, or it doesn't seem like they have any trouble. And I have all these troubles in all these situations. So the psalmist is going through something like that. But I think the important thing is, and this is great because this is one of the reasons I love the Psalms, because it shows how normal these people were. They faced pretty much very similar circumstances to the ones that you and I face. Not exactly, of course, different time period, different culture, a lot of different things. However, don't you also sometimes feel the same way the psalmist did? And interesting enough, in verse 26, I love it because this happens to you and me too. We have to get grounded. When we see our minds going off into these paths, these tangents, like some people would say, or if we're going off into these dwelling in thoughts that we shouldn't, it's just not good for us. It's not healthy for our souls, for our minds. We have to get grounded. We have to get back to reality. And what is the reality? Well, that in life, your health may fail. Our health is not always going to be 100%. And of course, there's things that you and I can do, to contribute to good health. But at the end of the day, there are things that are out of our hands, aren't there? There is stuff that's just out of our hands. So our health may fail. And our spirit may grow weak. Your spirit and my spirit might grow weak at some point. And that happens when we're facing different trials, right? And tribulations and situations that we don't expect. The spirit can grow weak at that moment. The spirit can feel flustered, if you will. But even though you and I can go through stuff like that, just like the psalmist, we can also proclaim and say, but God will remain the strength of my heart. See, even though we have to go through stuff like this, just like David in another psalm says, Although I walk through the shadow of death, right? He's acknowledging that, yeah, I may have to walk through that path. But he also says, you'll remain with me, right? Although I walk through the shadow of death, I will fear no evil because you will be with me. And that's the thing. He's going to be with us, even when we go through the tough stuff, even when we go through the great stuff, the awesome stuff, the blessings, the celebrations. But when stuff gets a little weird and gets a little difficult, he doesn't stop being with you or with me. Right? So he's going to remain the strength of your heart. He's going to get you through it. He's going to get you through whatever you're going right now. He's going to strengthen your heart and he's going to get you through it. So that at the end of this whole thing, you can say, just like the psalmist did, He is mine forever. God is mine forever. Jesus is mine forever. That's why Jesus said at one point, I am with you always. I am with you until the end of the earth. I am with you all the days. Why did Jesus say that? Because he knew we would need to know that. He knew that we would need to remember that when we're going through something tough, when we're going through something difficult. So if today you're kind of, in a rut or kind of just not really feeling it today, you're feeling kind of, well, you know what? Don't forget, he is the strength of your heart. He's going to get you through it. And he's yours. God is yours. He's mine. He's yours forever. Nobody can take him away from you. No one can take that love from you. No one can take his strength. No one can take his embrace from you. No one can take what he is giving you right now, which is his love. Be blessed. Thanks so much for listening in today. And until next time.